day in the life, though, for me was going on walks every morning after journaling, after meditating. I had to live in the cabin in the woods takes discipline. To actually not have a full-time job too takes discipline in its own way. Like I became my full-time job and that required gentleness, resting.
Have you ever just wanted to run away and live in a cabin in the woods and just be by yourself for once? I sit down with my friend Kelly Stefanski, who did just that. She spent a whole year living in a cabin in the woods, and here I am meeting her in Oaxaca City, and she's never been here before. It is her first time in Oaxaca City, and she just up and moved all of her things, and now she's here.
I've been doing inner healing work to even have the courage to come to Oaxaca and think that I could build a life here. So this is really fresh and new for me. And yeah, this is the beginning of a journey of courage and finding place in oneself that doesn't really matter where you are, but I feel in maybe some sense that this place brought me to it. So yeah, I feel called here, yeah.
Talking to Kelly really reminded me of the courage it takes to choose your own path. And a lot of the hurdles along the way involve other people's judgments of you, learning how to not let that bother you, and a lot of homelessness of not knowing where you're going to live tomorrow and just embracing the uncertainty of it.
What's crazy is, a year ago, I had my dog taken away from me, and one of the emails I got from my ex was, "You don't have a stable home." And here I am, still trying to figure out where physically home is, but I have a stable home within myself, and I would never tell someone who was homeless that they aren't worthy of a dog. I would never tell anybody that. So to now be where I'm at, and I knew a dog would come into my life. I brought that first dog, River, into my life, so I didn't have that fear of lack of abundance there. It was like, okay, well, I manifested her, so another dog's gonna come in, and I didn't know it'd be this soon. And this is where reality is really hitting. Actually, it's like I now have a dog here. I'm about to see my new place. A friend has offered me their grandfather's ranch, and all of this is really new, and with the transition and the change comes a lot of fear that's coming up because it's totally stepping into the unknown. Like, had I known I would have lost so much when I left my ex a year ago, I don't know if I could have done it. That's a really big thing to go through, but to know what came out of it, of course I would have done it, but you can't know. And so I'm allowing myself to not know, which is scary, of course. And that's where I'm at. It's in this place of not knowing all of the steps, but in this place of really feeling firm in my feet where they are on the ground.
Yeah, and I think we've been taught by Western society to have actual things to keep yourself rooted in the ground, when you realize actually I can carry all of those feelings of being secure. So what would you say to someone, or maybe to yourself a year ago, that is going to embark on this journey and start this solo travel excursion adventure by herself? And, what are some things to look out for? What are some things to just make sure that you have secure in your heart, in how you feel and how you carry yourself, that you'd like to just offer to yourself?
Yeah, beautiful question. For me, it's being really honest with what you're feeling and holding that. One of the first songs, and it gives me chills now, that I listened to on my journey when I first got to the cabin in the woods was a song called Hold Your Own by Kate Tempest. And it really talks about, it's not about this brand of happiness that we're sold. It's about holding your own in anything that comes up. And we have these inner dogs that bite, but when we make friends with them, they actually start bringing us what we need. And so something I felt this past weekend when I was super sick in bed and was like, what am I doing here? One of those moments. I was like, what a pleasure it is for me to hold this feeling for myself. What a great honor that I get to carry this for me, that it's really about becoming bigger than just that one feeling. And so the part that allows me to become bigger is by feeling into the support that's already there, even if it's just the bed that's under you or the ground beneath your feet. If you have a place where you can't fall off from, that's support. And just that little bit of support can allow you to be big enough to hold whatever's coming, because oftentimes these parts are trying to protect us. Like, I know for me, there's so many parts of me that are so caring and kind right now that want me to be super safe and secure and comfortable. And I have to keep reminding them, yeah, I am. We're really supported here.
I really feel like me and Kelly are cut from the same cloth here on just going with the wind and being homeless and not knowing where you're going to be next week and just grinding, going through it. This is the beginning of that journey, and I'm so excited to have connected with Kelly.
The forest too is really a metaphor in many ways. Like, I went into the depths of the woods, kind of like these fairy tales where the little girl goes off and meets the witch in the woods and gets all the lessons that she needs to make it through life. And I feel like the trees were that for me, that they taught me everything I need to know to be where I'm at now. That where I'm at now takes a lot of courage and strength to be here, to know that I belong just on this planet where my feet are touching the ground.
If this story resonated with you, make sure to check out the full episode on the Miss Amanda Chen Show podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next Wednesday with another episode on learning how to live.